for supporting me on Patreon. It means so much to me. Today I'm finally making another Warhammer 40,000 ASMR video, soft spoken as usual. And this time I am not making a Codex video, but this is the Codex supplement Angels of Death, covering the different Space Marines chapters. This is also a thinner booklet. It is not a hardcover, and I'm really happy making this video. The Space Marines are really interesting and fun to read about. But I hope you will sit back and relax and enjoy this video. Thank you. This is the Warhammer 40,000 Codex supplement for the Angels of Death. I really enjoy this cover. I think the orange blasts from the machines in the background really complement the Space Marines very nice with the blue color. Heroes of the Imperium, the Space Marines stride across alien worlds, their bolt guns roaring a benediction to the emperors as they kill. They are the finest warriors mankind has ever known, and it is by their courage and skill that the Imperium of man endures. When enemies of humanity rise up from the darkness of the void or crawl forth from the maelstrom of the warp, the Adeptus Astartes are there to meet them, organized into warrior chapters, blessed with a lifetime of war and schooled in the ways of the Codex Astartes. Each Space Marine Baton Brother is a soldier without a peer, a genetically engineered fighter that will do his duty to the Emperor no matter the cost. His only wish is victory or a worthy death. This is a softer book, it's not the hardcovers, and it is pre-owned, so it has a bit of damage, but that is alright. I got this one for I think $3 second hand. Angels of Death, strike forces of the Space Marines. Contents: Strike Forces, Forces of the Space Marines, Psychana Librarius, Altar of War, Space Marines. Strike Forces. The greatest weapons in the Imperium's arsenal are the chapters of the Adeptus Astartes, guided by the dedicates of the Codex Astartes and the legacies of their Primarchs. These fearless warriors and deadly war machines are forged into the last thin line of defense against the horrors of a violent galaxy. The Codex Astartes teaches that there are many ways of waging war, scribed by the legendary Rebute Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines. The vast military treatise Battle Wisdoms is drawn from centuries of warfare and the experience of the Legions Astartes, predecessors of the Space Marine chapters. The majority of the nearly 1,000 chapters fighting in the 41st millennium are marshaled and trained in the strict accordance to the edicts of the Mighty Tome. It instructs in great detail on how companies should be divided and marked, the composition of squads and the use of different weapons and war machines. The Codex also contains invaluable insights into some of the Imperium's greatest foes, alongside strategies known to be effective against them. However, for all the structures and guidelines in the Codex Astartes provides for a Space Marine chapter, its most valued lessons are those of versatility and adaptations. And some beautiful art. Strike Forces. Strike Force Solak. This talent strike force rose to fame during the Imperium's war to master Damocles Gulf, led by Shadow Captain Solak in the Raven Guard. It was to become a vengeful shadow striking from the darkest at the heart of the Tau invaders. Strike Force Hesdan, a flame-blade strike force led by the legendary Vulcan Hesdan, which fought with distinction during the evacuation of reliquary world of Teslan V1. I'm really bad at Roman numbers. Is that 7 or 6? I think V1 is 6. By the light of the Teslan's dying suns, the Salamanders incinerated countless tyrannid biohorrors and saved many of the world's precious relics. Strike Force Malice. Malice was a system in the Segmentum Pacificus ruled over the warpsmith Uralmak and his army of mechanical horrors and corrupted titans. Strike Force Malice, an anvil strike force of the Dark Hunters, earned its name shattering Uralmak's legion and ultimately destroying the infamous titan Godslayment. So beautiful, all of these buildings. I wonder if you guys have any larger collections of Warhammers. How much money did you put into it? Steel Onslaught. An anvil strike force is a holy weapon deployed to tear down any obstructions with the audacity to stand in its way. To the throaty roar of engines and the binary war cries of machine spirits, the fighting vehicles of the chapter move out, combining the tactical flexibility of the Space Marines with the power of the Imperium's finest tanks. In many chapters, the most powerful war machines, such as Land Raiders and Predators, are gathered together into a single resource known as the Armory. Rows of thick-hulled tanks, multi-barrel cannons, and bulky warsuits fill the walls of these sacred sites. Each maintains through with careful administration of the chapter's tech marines. Here are some Armory organization. It falls to the Master of the Forge to maintain the war machines of each Space Marine chapter. These adamantium engine of destructions are his wards, build and train for war. At the behest of the chapter master, the Master of the Forge opens the Armory and ensures that the battle companies and strike forces are ably supported no matter the foe. We have the chapter command, the chapter master, Armory command, Master of the Forge, tech marines, predators, dreadnoughts, land raiders, support tanks, gunships, siege weapons, land speeders, and armored transports. The command, the core, shielding force, airborne strike, and flank security. Strike Force Hammerfall. When the Ultramarines Armory musters for war, the ground shudders beneath its columns of tank squadrons. Strike Force Hammerfall is an anvil strike force led by the heroic brother Sergeant Kronos against the Necron presence in Ultramar. From the copula of his Land Raider Crusaders, Wrath of Damnos, Kronos commands his Land Raider spearheads and directs the collected tanks and support vehicles of the Armory against the soulless legions of their foe. Under his experienced eye, the strike forces display impressive speed and firepower, bolstering the elite training of the Space Marine they carry to war. sons of the Great Khan. Like a spear hurled from a hunter's hand, the white scars punch through the enemy's defenses to pierce the heart and deliver the death blow. The sons of Shokoris fight in the ways of their ancestors. Through tulwars and lances have been replaced with chain blades and bolters, and horses with roaring bikes and land speeders. And the White Scars chapter organizations. The chapter command with Jubal Khan, the Great Khan. We have Armory, Reclusiasm, Apothecarian, and Librarius. First company, second company, third company, fourth company, fifth company, sixth company, seventh company, eighth company, ninth company, and 10th company. Strike Force Corsaro. Lightning speed and punishing strength characterized the White Scars army that fought on Prefectia. Under the command of the mighty Corsaro Khan himself, this Scarblade strike force consisted primarily of warriors from the proud and noble 3rd Company. At their side fought supporting elements of the 1st and 10th Companies, while aerial support was lent from the chapter's armory. The Khan's force, built to hunt dangerous prey, was skilled at running a foe to ground and striking hard and fast when the quarry was cornered. Defenders of Terra. The Imperial Fists were the most stalwart of the Space Marine legions during the Horus Heresy, and their legend has grown with every passing century. Such heroism has always claimed its blood price, but this is a burden to the Imperial Fists bear with fortitude, for they know what their primarchs, Rogal Dawn, would have expected nothing less. The Imperial Fist chapter organization, the chapter command, Vornhagen, the chapter master, the armory, Reclusiasm, Apothecarian, and Librarius again. First company, second company, third company, fourth company, fifth company, sixth company, seventh company, eighth company, ninth company, 10th company. Strike Force Lysander. The Imperial Fists are loaded as siege masters and line breakers without peer. Accordingly, the chapter's Sternhammer strike forces are designed to smash through the toughest defenses with unstoppable force. Under the unrelenting pressure of massive demolisher rounds, cracking thunderhammers and whirring siege drills, slab-sided fortresses are toppled and hardened defenders are reduced to blood and dust. The Black Templars Crusade organization. The Black Templars are a fleet-based chapter, their companies scattered across the galaxy into numerous crusaders. Each crusade is led by a marshal, while a single high marshal is responsible for the progress of all the current crusaders. Then they have the marshal's household, Fighting Company Endeavor, Fighting Company Antora, Fighting Company Sternheir, Fighting Company Shalika. Then we have the Crimson Fist chapter organization, chapter command, Pedro Cantor, Armory, Reclusiasm, Apothecarian, Librarius. First company, second company, third company, fourth company, fifth company, sixth company, seventh company, eighth company, ninth company, 10th company. Scions of Medusa. The Iron Hands chapter comprises 10 clan companies, each one 100-strong brotherhood of warriors, and a formidable army in its own right. Each possesses its own unique qualities, and its own long and proud history and has forged for itself a different role within the chapter through ages of war and in the defense of the Imperium. Iron Hand Chapter Organization, the Iron Council, Cardan Stronos. The Iron Hands do not maintain a centralized armory. Instead, each clan company maintains its own vehicles and war machines. But we still have the reclusiasms, apothecarian and librarians. And all from the 1st to the 10th company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 companies. Strike Force Grolvok. Like others of its kind, the Fist of Medusa Strike Forces is built upon a foundation of adamantium. Mixing man and machine, it combines the augmented warriors of the clan companies with the finest war machines of the chapter. Together, these two elements form an ironclad that crushes the life from its enemies with irresistible force. Warriors of Nocturne. The Salamanders are one of the most respected chapters of the Imperium, their strength and honor unwavering over countless centuries of war and carnage. In battle they embody the resolute ideals from the Primarchs, Vulcan, forging their battle brothers in the flames of combat and growing stronger with each furious engagement. Salamanders Chapter Organization, Armory, and then the 1st company, the Fire Drakes, and the Librarians, so they just have the 1st company, 2nd company, 3rd company, 4th company, 5th company, 6th company, 7th company. They do not have 10 companies. Strike Force Hestan. The Forge Father Vulcan Hestan walks the worlds of the galaxy seeking the sacred artifacts left by his Primarch and spoken in the Tome of Fire. 3 of these hallowed objects he already carries, the Spear of Vulcan, Kesare's Mantle, and the Gauntlets of the Forge, and two more are safe on Prometheus, but 4 remains hidden from him. To aid him in his quest, the Salamanders Chapter Council has given Hestan leave to sequester warriors from the warriors' houses. The Flameblade Strike Force mustered to purge the ruins of Irathe shipyards of a Tyranid infestation was one such company of Space Marines. Blades of Codex. Shadow-shrouded killers. The battle brothers of the Raven Guard use stealth, skill, and rapid redeployment to pick their foes apart. The enemy are left reeling, unable to excuse their own plans for fear of showing their backs to the gleaming talons of the black-clad Space Marines. Before long, all that remains are corpses left for the carrion birds. Raven Guard Chapter Organization, Chapter Command, Corvin Severax, Armory, Reclusiasm, Apothecarian, Librarians. 1st Company, 2nd Company, 3rd Company, 4th Company, 5th Company, 6th Company, 7th Company, 8th Company, 9th Company, 10th Company. Strike Force Torovak. During the War of the Dovar system, the warriors of Strike Force Tovarak became the terror of the Tau foes on the world of Prefectia, part of wider Raven Guard's deployment, which was led by Shadow Captain Shrike and overseen by Chapter Master Severax himself. This Talon Strike Force operated at the fore of the chapter's offensive. With a mixture of speed and stealth, its warriors maneuvered swiftly around their foes, using the tangled, many-level terrain to their advantage. When the Tau sought to pick them off at range with their potent firepower, the Raven Guard pushed in close, forcing their enemies onto the back foot, then launching precision, strafing rounds to massacre them. All of the Space Marine up on the top of the border. Forces of the Space Marines. The following sections introduce new detachments, warlord traits, relics and tactical objectives for forces drawn from the White Scars, Raven Guards, Iron Hands, Salamanders and Imperial Fists and their successor chapters, as well as a number of army list entries and the formations that can be used by any Space Marines army. Detachments, formations, psychic powers. Within this section you will find several psychic disciplines and a librarian with the Space Marines faction. Warlord traits, chapter relic and tactical objectives. The Terminator Captain, Cataphract Terminator Squad, Contemptor Dreadnoughts, Stormlands Battle Demi Company, Hunting Force, Stormbringer Squadron, Spear Tip Strike, Pinion Battle Demi Company, and the Shadow Strike Kill Team. Bladewing Assault Brotherhood, Skyhammer Orbital Strike Force, Skyhammer Annihilation Force, Shadow Force, Ravenhawk Assault Group, Raptor Wing, beautiful Tau faction painted models up against the White Scars. Armored Might. The following section describes a naval strike force used by the force of the Adeptus Astartes whenever a war requires the full destructive power of their armories. When such an assemblage of war machines take to the battle, the ground shakes, quakes as they crest the horizon, and their massed firepower scores the field clean of enemies. Sons of the Great Khan. The following section describes the force used by the White Scars and their brethren in other chapters. White Scar Special Rules and the White Scars Tactical Objectives against some more Tau foes. Sons of Dorn, Imperial Fists Special Rules, Imperial Fist Tactical Objectives, Sons of the Gorgon, Iron Hand Special Rules. The pages are still so glossy, even though this is an edition from 2016. It's almost unused. Iron Hands tactical objectives. It's hard to get a grip on. Sons of Vulcan. Salamanders special rules. Salamanders tactical objectives. Again, are these Tyranids or Necrons from the back? I think these are Necrons with their green firepower. Sons of Codex. Raven Garden special rules. Raven Guard tactical objectives. Here are the Raven Guard against the Tau. Some wonderful artwork of the Imperial Fists. Psychana Librarians. The masters of the historic arts, librarians are warriors, mystics who unleash the power of the warp into the 41st millennium's battlefields. With crackling bolts of lightning and storms of telekinetic force, they smite the enemies of the Imperium, serving their chapters as both peerless advisors and masterful battle leaders. Discipline and technomancy discipline. Fulmination discipline, geokinesis discipline. Some more fantastic artwork from the previous Warhammer 40,000 content I've done. There is not a lot of artwork depicting the Space Marines against the Tau. It's usually against the Tyranids or the Orcs, so I think this is very nice to see. Altar of War. The Space Marines are the Imperial's ultimate shock troops, descending upon their foes with lightning speed and overwhelming strength. Few warriors are as versatile in battle as the Adeptus Astartes, able to adapt to any world or foe in their never-ending war to purge the galaxy of the Imperium's enemies. Altar of War, the Hammer Blow. Angels of Death. Here I shall die. Slayer of Kings. These are the different missions. Emperor's Fists. Willing Sacrifice. And the last page. Here is some more artwork. The Space Marines against some Tyranid forces. This was a little bit shorter. I think my usual Warhammer content when I make with the different codexes are around 40 minutes to an hour, and this is around 30 minutes. But I need to save my voice a bit. These are still very long format ASMR content. I don't think a lot of other ASMR content creators makes these longer videos, and they are good for the RPM when you know how many dollars you get per 1,000 views. I am still a very small content creator. This is my hobby. I don't work as a YouTuber. This is just something I have on the side of my full-time job. If you are interested in supporting me, I have a Patreon where I upload one exclusive ASMR video every week, and that is only $5 a month. So if you're interested, please check out my Patreon. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to support me on YouTube, please leave a like and a comment to boost the algorithms, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I